Hi there, I'm Mara from Samsara Holistic Counselling, and this is a video about powerlessness and how to take your power back. We are living in quite a powerless society. We feel powerless. We feel like we don't have any power. We have educators and politicians and doctors, our friends, family, lots of people telling us what to do, what not to do, how to live our lives. But in actual fact, we are all as confused as each other. We feel very powerless. There are signs of powerlessness in the way we think about things, the way we live our lives, and also how our relationships are as well. Everything that we feel, everything that we think is manifested in our lives. So it's really about recognizing what that is. Powerlessness comes from fear. It's our society that feeds this endless, constant fear in us, and we believe that we're powerless. We believe that we don't have the power that we actually do have, and the power that we actually came in this world with. So this is about regaining your power, how to take your power back, a really important thing in your life to be able to conquer. And it's really important, before I start sharing the tips, to understand that we have always got choice. We've got choices. It's about seeing the choices, and it's about making the choice. There's no right answer. It's just about making the choice for you, and that's a big part of feeling powerful, making choices when you actually do have choices, even though you don't feel like you do. Let's start with the first tip. Tip number 1. Evaluate your life. We need to look at our lives. We need to see what's in our environment that's having an effect and making us feel even more powerless. Is it your relationship? Is it the people around you? Is it your career? When we work full time, even though we feel like we are our jobs are our life purpose, possibly, but actually our careers, whatever that career might be, working full-time takes so much out of you. And you're working, if you are, some people don't, but if you are working for someone else, that feeds the powerlessness. You feel like you don't have that ability to work for yourself, and you're working for someone else, and it's taking that energy out of you, and it's just going to feed that powerlessness even more. So work is a big part of it. Working full-time, you're not going to have much time to yourself, and that's not going to help things. Obviously diet as well, thinking about what you're eating, what you're not eating. Tip number 2, learn about yourself. Learning about yourself, it's so important in self-development. We need to understand who we are, what we are. It's vital. So we need to learn and be in our emotions. We need to just stay in the emotions. We need to feel, understand where those feelings, those emotions are coming from, and just stay in it rather than escape. That's the way we learn. We all have a natural tendency to escape things. When someone says something you don't like, you might want to change the subject or just do something, do the housework or whatever. But actually we need to stay there, we need to be present, and in order for us to learn. So learning about yourself, it's really important. We also need to remember that the emotions that we feel while we're learning about ourselves actually help us. There's a reason why we feel things, the reason why we have these emotions. So we have to understand what that is. It might seem like it's going against us, but actually it's a way of helping us. And in this world, we are, constantly in an environment where things trigger our emotions, so things are quite challenging for us mentally and emotionally. So we need to really be becoming, I guess, resilient in that way as well, and learning how to cope with things, but actually, and also being in there to really learn and to grow, whether that's the darkness, because that's what the darkness is actually for as well. Okay, tip number 3. We need to trust ourselves. Trusting yourself comes from loving yourself, and loving yourself is the big major obstacle that we all seem to suffer from. So loving yourself is the big thing. We might never really completely learn to love ourselves, because it is so difficult, but it's not impossible, and all we can do is just keep on trying. Trusting ourselves is so important. Understanding and believing that we all have got ability. We do have the ability to do things. We just need to do it, and we need to trust that we can do it, and just do it. Tip number 4. Make your own choice. So we've talked about choice briefly, but you really do have a choice, and you just have to make your own choice, whatever that might be. There is no right or wrong answer. You just have to choose your own thing. It's your own perspective. Everyone's got their own perspective, and you just have to choose. You choose that, you do it, you learn from it, you grow, and then you make a different choice from that. If that comes to it, that's okay, but you just make a choice. Also, after we do make a choice, we have to take responsibility for that choice. We have to accept that there are consequences for that choice. We like to sometimes perceive ourselves as being weak in a way, and just that we want people to feel sorry for us, but actually we made that choice, whatever that choice was, and we just have to take responsibility for that choice and just deal with it, whatever consequence might be when it comes. And again, you just learn from it. Tip number 5, listen and express. So this is where we have to listen to ourselves, understand that we have boundaries, we have to listen to the boundaries, and we have to express it as well, in a nice, calm way. Express. If we are not comfortable with something, we just express it, we just say it. And in actual fact, expressing that just would help us in terms of confidence, to understand that we can trust ourselves more as well. So it's like a bit of a cycle, really. So it's really important to listen to yourself, really important to listen to your gut, listen to what it's saying, and understand your boundaries, learn your boundaries, but also express when you're feeling uncomfortable about something too. Tip number 6, life is a game. So play your life as if it's a game. Some people define life as a theatre, as a movie as well. It's the same thing. You're playing a character. You just have to play that character to the fullest. You can choose whatever you want. You are the character, just like in a game, just like in a video game. You play that character. And I think once we understand that, things almost become easier, because this is our reality, but the reality that we perceive that we are in is almost like it's an illusion. It's not as, let's say, as serious as you think it might be. Actually, it's not serious at all. It's just a game. You just have to just let things be and just play whatever character you want and make that choice as that character. We only live once, and you just have to do it. Yeah, it's a really important thing that I've learned in myself, in my life, and that you just choose a character. Whatever beliefs we might have, we're not actually attached to that. We can actually choose to attach to, other characters and other qualities, and have that ability, whatever ability we'd like, and learn and just be that. But on the last note, I just want to just really again highlight the fact that you always have a choice, and powerlessness makes you feel like you don't have a choice, but actually you do. So we really need to, as a society, take our power back and just do what we want, obviously without hurting anyone, and believe that and just do it. So take your power back.